Now, in our first story, the Electoral Commission has warned that persons who disregard the social distancing protocols during the registration exercise will be sent home. Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Srebo Kweku, stated in an interview on Prime Morning on Joy Prime TV that individuals had to take personal responsibility for their own safety or face the consequences. The commission was criticized by various stakeholders after safety measures were abandoned by voter ID applicants on Tuesday, which was the first day of registration. Health experts fear there will be a spike in cases of COVID-19 soon if this is not checked. Listen to Dr. Srebo Kweku's response.
They may not necessarily do that at the registration center, but people should appreciate that wherever they go, it will be in their interest and the interest of their family, interest of all Ghanaians to ensure the social distancing. As for the application of the thermometer, water, and the rest, they had no choice. But the social distancing is the challenge, and I will entreat that once we are dealing with people 18 years and above, they should appreciate the implications of not observing the social distancing. So today we are going to ask our people to seriously force people to observe them. If they can't, then they should rather leave the place.
Now, the Ghana Medical Association in an earlier statement said government should take action against the commission if the wanton disregard for safety continues throughout the registration. But Dr. Srebo Kweku believes this is unfair.
What I would say is that instead of apportioning blame and threatening people, let us all agree and commit ourselves to the education. Let us all let people know the implication of their actions instead of threatening and the most important, all of us, every Ghanaian should be committed to that. If you go there and you see that it's not working, help to educate the people. I think that will give more results instead of the threats.
Do you feel like that particular threat, as you call it, is unfair?
I think so, because we are talking of adults who should know what is right. So people should take their own health situation into their hands. So that everybody should be on board to help us educate the people and ask people to observe the protocols.
Now, still on this story, voter registration exercise in the Ododo-Diodio constituency delayed for 5 hours after disagreements between EC registration officials and representatives of the political parties present over some centers that were excluded from the exercise. Social distancing and all COVID-19 protocols were disregarded as persons who had come to register stood in long, winding queues, some of them without masks. Maxwell Agbagba was in the constituency and now reports.
Disagreement and confusion. Woman who was hurling invectives at registration officials for the delay in the registration was nearly attacked by one of the residents. Many of the people gathered here had come at 4 a.m. to take part in the registration, but it delayed for 5 hours. A resident of Jamestown, Mavis, recently survived an accident. She now walks with the help of a crutch, but she's here determined to register.
I had an accident.
You had an accident?
Yeah.
Okay. And you came here to register?
Because I'm a Ghanaian, so I have to register. Yeah, I'm very, very confused because yesterday they said the boys was making routes here. Yeah. That's why they haven't started the thing. So we have to wait. They have to arrange everything nicely so that they will start the thing. 75-year-old
Isaac Mensah has also been standing here for the past 5 hours.
The start is very poor because they're supposed to start at 7 a.m. and it's getting to 9. We are still here. No seat for us to sit on it. And you haven't tell us anything. It's better you come out to tell us what to do. Either we go and come in the afternoon or because we are wasting our time. Look here, let me tell you. I'm a Gold Coast man. Okay. I was born in 1945. And we know a birth certificate. Because we use birth certificate to acquire the Ghana card you're talking about. And now we are not using birth certificate. Most of the people here have got birth certificate.
Nyakaka chala ninyankwa wabatola meko mana meko man bejiwo wabatola ke jalebi manke 5 o'clock ni watala mi ni wompi nyakwa bo nyakwa chaka na ka jenye wo helalo awo helaka no afio.
Like in the coronavirus cases, And that's the concern she's raising, that the registration has not started, and they've been seated here for so long, and they've been compelled to sit together, here.
According to some representatives of the political parties, a decision by the EC registration officials to exclude some widely publicized registration centers caused the disagreement. Behind me are the registration materials ready to be deployed. I've been speaking to the commander of the ministry's police station, Chief Superintendent Asebunzo. He was in that meeting trying to resolve the disagreement between the political parties. He says they are ready and alert to call any violence that may erupt here.
The discussion had to do with some confusion that arose as a result of the review of the registration centers by the Electoral Commission. I think it was a bit different from what had been gazetted, and so it created a bit of confusion. But then after the meeting, it has been resolved. All the stakeholders have really understood what has happened, and they've all given the green light for the registration to start.
Now, the Electoral Commission says it is working closely with the security agencies and health officials to rectify concerns about non-adherence to COVID-19 protocols at registration centers on the first day of the ongoing voters compilation exercise. Now, Director of Training of the EC, Michael Bwedu, was speaking to Roland Walker on the AM show.
With regards to the protocol, the plan is that applicants are supposed to maintain the 1 meter social distance requirements. But what's happened on the field is quite different. We have made provision for all the PPEs, for officials and even the applicants that will come around to have their hands sanitized and wash their hands before they join the queue. And the queue, they are supposed to maintain that 1 meter distance. What I realized is that we have two-tier queue. Those who are closer to the registration tables, they normally do behave or observe these protocols. But those behind, maybe a bit far away from the table and are waiting to have their turn, you really cannot control that queue. That is where the challenge mostly is. And I admit, yes, when it comes to the social distance aspect of the whole process, it has not been the best. And we really have to do something about it.
And on the technical side, how would you assess it? Based on, because you are heading training, you've trained people, and you see that they may have undertaken some work.
Yes. The technical sides, you agree with me, we have not had any problem at all. I mean, a few problems do, but generally it's been very impressive. The machines, the devices have not given us much problem. We have spares, and so even where we have problems, we are able to replace them. And so on the technical aspect, I must say, we have done creditably well. Our officials that have been trained are also living up to expectation as of now when it comes to actually handling the actual process of registration. And so largely, we have done not bad at all at the technical aspect. But the other aspect of it is where we need to look at it seriously.
Now, the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, is asking the security services to enforce the No Mask Directive during the voter registration exercise. Speaking on Prime Morning on Joy Prime TV, Chairperson Josephine Nkrumah emphasized that the executive instrument EI 164 has made the directive enforceable by law agencies with accompanying sanctions which must be applied. The breaching of protocols by applicants has been a matter of concern for health experts, especially who predicted this prior to the exercise. Here's the NCCE solution.
It's important for us to give strong consideration to security agencies playing a critical role in this. I mean, we all understand that the wearing of mask EI 164 is law. And in that regard, we would expect that Ghanaians appreciate the level of education that has gone on so far and for them to adhere and comply with the law. That being said, there are other issues that perhaps may contribute to the massing up of people at registration centers. EC is doing its job, but I think we need to step up issues around materials arriving on time to avoid massing up of people. We need to look at issues around the potential to have many more people at registration centers, because this time, unlike previous registrations, having guarantors is going to be much more of a likelihood, and that in turn means that you would have a lot of people coming to the polling, to the registration centers with 2 guarantors each, which means that potentially you have a crowded situation. So when we have the security agencies coming in at this time to enforce law and order, I think it will go a large way to deter people from massing up.
Now, Josephine Nkrumah also admonished political parties to desist from activities which could lead to crowd gathering, as she assured the public her organization will increase their education drive.
I think another issue that has come up has been the role that we've seen some political parties play, especially political parties arriving with paraphernalia or that sort of thing. And it's important that in order to avert any potential volatility, we should urge political parties to act with a lot of circumspection in ensuring that you do not unduly raise tensions, you do not unduly agitate other parties in order for us to have the potential for any crowd, for any issues that will come up with crowd control that would also involve security agencies perhaps being a little high-handed, and of course that's also leading to more issues with crowd control. So all in all, it is a matter for all of us agencies to work. As NCC, we would step up education in this regard to ensure that people understand that the wearing of masks, as we have said, since EI 164 came into place, is not just, you know, an option. It is a law. We are required to do it, and there is a deterrent factor in terms of the fines and or incarceration that goes with it.
Now, let's go to the ground and speak to our reporters who are monitoring the exercise. Ivy Setoji is in the Volta region, and Anas Sabit is also in the Bono region. Let's start with you, Ivy. So day 2, give us an update.
Yeah, so that too, we still have the problem of social distancing here. People are not observing the social distancing, and they are also, most of them are also wearing face masks. This is what happened in Ketchestad yesterday here in Ho, opposite the VFCC. People were fighting initially as to who gets to register first. We saw a movement trying to solve the issue earlier. So the issue of social distancing and wearing of face masks is still a big problem in this exercise.
What about the provision of technical equipment, Ivy?
Okay. Hello.
Anas Sabit. Right. Anas, if you can hear me, what has the situation been like in the Bono region on day 2?
I'm in the Bono East region, point of correction, and I'm in Techiman South constituency right now. And at the EMS polling station 1, of course, all social, safety protocols have been adhered to, with the exception of the social distancing, which still remains an issue here. This particular station started on time this morning, even though it was raining. As at 12 midday today, they have registered about 61 persons so far. But there are a bit of misunderstanding among those in the queue, alleging that the EC officials are bypassing those in the queue to register others who came to meet them on the ground. I have close with me the chairman of the Municipal Peace Council here in Techima, Mr. Prince Osu Asiku, who has been also monitoring, Reverend Osu, Prince Osu Asiku, who has also been monitoring the events here in the part of the region. I want him to quickly speak to us on his observations so far as this exercise is concerned. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
What has been your observation so far since you started monitoring?
Yes, we began yesterday with the election security team. And we've been to all the 20 stations. So far, so good. But the applicants, they are not observing distancing. But as all of them we want to continue in church. Perfect. They are all seated, observing the distances. It was very good. We went to CMB, Abanmu CMB. Of average. But Abamu, the funeral grounds, appalling. It's same thing with Ebenezer preparatory.
Right.
The applicants are not observing any rule.
Right.
So we've called the patrol team.
All right, so Daniel, we heard him. The patrol team have been informed of the situation in the grounds because of the little misunderstanding here, and we are expecting them to get in here to maintain order at the Ebenezer Preparatory School polling station here in Techima.
So the patrol team is yet to arrive. Keep us updated on that situation, and let me quickly head over to Ivy and ask if there has been any delays because of supply of equipment in that part of the country, Ivy. Right, Ivy.
Yeah, here where I am, there was no delay in supply of equipment. So even though they did not start at the exact time, so there was no delay in supply of equipment from the fact that they start at the right time. And now, so the issue here is about people queuing and some people trying to get in first. And so there is some sort of misunderstanding here.
Right, thank you very much, Ivy Setoji, and as we see those images you're sending us there from the Bono region, Bono East region, pardon me, thank you. Okay, now Maxwell Agbagba went back to Ododo just some 30 minutes ago. Let's take that update.
At the Blizzard Assurance Registration Center, social distancing is not really happening. I want to show you what is happening in the queue right now. Well, many of the people here have started wearing their masks after they've seen our cameras. But what we observed when we came here was that some of them had it in their pocket, some of them were wearing it under their chins. In fact, many of them were not wearing their masks. Social distancing, it's a big problem here. You are a resident?
Yes.
And before we pulled out our cameras, you saw the situation here.
Yes.
Can you tell us what the situation was like before we pulled out the cameras?
The situation is not all that good. Social distancing, social distancing poor. Nose masks, no. Washing of hands, I am not seeing it. But what I'm seeing really, what I'm seeing really is the thermometer gun. The thermometer gun is being applied.
Okay.
But for the social distancing, you can even see from the cameras that it is not the best. So I am suggesting that the authorities should make sure, the Electoral Commission should make sure certain measures are put in place so that at least this community, they must be able to abide by the social distancing and the wearing of the masks. Even I can see some of the people here who want to register, and some of them are not even having their nose masks, and they are even shouting.
We are here.
David, what's your last name?
Buddy. Yeah, David Anang.
David Anang.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a resident here?
Yes, I'm a resident here.
Okay, so tell me. Talk to me.
Yeah, I have only one problem. We are here for long time. Even for 4 o'clock, we went 4 o'clock, up to now. The queue is not moving. So I want you people to ask the officials why the queue is not moving. Do you understand? So that's the only one problem I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but you can also see that some of the residents here are not respecting the social distancing protocol.
Yeah.
Some of them are also not wearing their masks. Yeah.
Even we advise most of them.
Okay. You kindly wear your mask for me, please.
Pardon?
Yeah, wear your mask for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even we advise most of them to wear it because the thing is very dangerous. The sickness is very dangerous. But to my opinion, I have only one problem to say. This kind of queue is unnecessary. To me, it's very unnecessary. Because why the government didn't want to use the old one? Why the government didn't want to use the old voters ID card to vote?
This is a very densely populated area, so obviously you're going to have these challenges.
Okay.
It is
are you part of the EC?
Sorry?
Are you part of the EC?
I am an official for a political party, right?
Which political party?
I am an official for a political party, yeah? The thing is, this because of the number of machines provided, the stations provided, we're going to have challenges, you see. But slowly to go down. By the second, third phase, this thing will go down.
Okay.
So it is certain. You see, everyone want to rush to do it because maybe they have time today.
Yeah.
But if this needs to start moving, you realize getting to the end, it will stop. So it's not about someone getting peace off.
Okay.
And the system which is running slowly is causing the problem. You see, I don't believe any of the system can register more than 150 people a day.
Wow.
So obviously, if you have more than 400 people here, for the stations here, it can't take them.
Yeah.
So it's normal.
But are you concerned that the residents here are not respecting the social distancing protocol? Some of them are not even wearing their masks at all.
When people in Choco respected social distancing before? No. It's a problem that they always, you see? It's a problem we have here. They won't respect it. This is Choco for you. You can't change it. It's Choco for you. Right?
So what could have been the solution to this? Because this is serious.
See, provisions should have made for chairs. Enough chairs. Let's say 80 per row.
Yeah.
So that when they come, we can space them.
Yeah.
And when we space them, we'll be able to let them sit on it as it is, not as they want.
Okay.
Over here, you realize people have brought their own chairs from their houses, and they are using it. So as to how they sit on, it's their problem.
Okay.
It's the way they want to do it. So that's the problem. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Thank you very much for speaking.
You're most welcome.
Okay. So you just had one of the. You just had Frederick. He is one of the political party reps here, telling us that it's difficult. I mean, even for some police officers who are here, we've spoken to. They've thrown their hands in despair. They are telling us that it is really difficult getting residents here to respect the social distancing protocol. They tell us that it is a Herculean task, and they can't help it. They can't do anything to help it. Well, some of the people who come here are not even washing their hands before they go through the registration process. So that is the situation here at Blessed Assurance Registration Center here at Choco. So the feet take cutaways more of people who are.
Thank you very much, Maxwell, for that update. Let's head over to the Upper West region where Rafiq Salam stands by. Rafiq, which part of the region have you toured and what's today's update?
I'm currently at the Limairi Ahmadiyya Central Mosque. That's where the registration exercise is currently ongoing. And I have been to 2 other centers talking about the Anglican Primary and also the High Court. Registration in these areas is going on peaceful and also is orderly. But one thing that I can also report to you is that the positive side is that most of the people that I met at these stations are wearing face masks. But the difficulty, the Herculean task that the registration officers are going through is how to adhere to this issue of social distancing, because some of the places are crowded and even the people are like sardines.
Thanks, Rafiq. Keep an eye out for issues for us. We'll come back to you.
Hello?
Away from the registration, police in Kumasi are on a manhunt for 4 armed men on motorbikes who robbed and killed a caretaker of the Bantama Seventh-day Adventist Church in broad daylight on Tuesday. Makamofa was returning from the bank in the afternoon when the assailants on 2 unregistered motorbikes attacked him. They took away 4,300 Ghana cedis cash as the church entrance before shooting him. Ohiming Teria of our security desk has more.
Not even the presence of students of nearby Adventist Senior High School and a security man on campus could scare the robbers. Shout for help by the father of 3 is believed to have angered the robbers, who shot him at close range. Motorists refused to convey wounded Mr. Amofa to nearby Konfanochi Hospital amid profuse bleeding. When eventually he was taken to the hospital, doctors pronounced him dead a few minutes on arrival. An eyewitness who spoke on condition of anonymity tells JoyNews the robbers traced the deceased from Abepo Junction branch of EcoBank, where he had withdrawn the money.
No many be a into a can share Pilaya, Egina, Mijana Caseo. I want to Giscano, Omiscano, Anna, or James of Cronfo, Anna, dear, or Gina, or Nimoto and Bano, as well as a Bontumeco, and Tutu, a bono, and you Obuhi Hasenum, a Moja Tuno. You just tell the Bia ambassador of a Fanama Mojarinti, and I saw a cano. A fan with Nico of Anachi. Near one person, maybe I'll be a Cobina or then so a Yanua bear. Don't Fano. I think I say, when your media.
Officers from Swami Divisional Command have visited the scene twice as part of investigations. JoyNews sources say statements will be taken from key eyewitnesses while search begins in earnest for the culprits. From Kumasi, Ohiming Teria reporting.
You're still live on JoyNews today with me, Daniel Daze. Let's go over to Daryl, who has the latest in business. Stay with us.
Well, that was not Yvonne Owe McCarthy. That was John Amma, who is a business development consultant. For those of you who have concerns about whether it's a good time to start your business, whether it's a good time to take a pause, whether you should end it all, he will have answers. I guess we can now hear from Yvonne Owe McCarthy, who is a customer service consultant, on how good customer service is crucial during these times.
See you as a service provider or as an organization that cares. So you need to find out, first of all, what tickles my customer. What does my customer want? A lot of us do not even engage with our customers. We've never carried out surveys to find out what they want. We don't even know what they anticipate in the next quarter or the next 6 months. Those are the things we need to be doing. Now, once we've done that, engaged with them and understand exactly what they want, then we can give them what they're looking for. It would be premature to just do free giveaways and all the other stuff that I see a lot of people trying to do. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I think you need to be a bit more intentional in trying to put a package together for the people that you call your customers. So it's time now to engage your customers, find out what they want, and then give them what they want.
I do like free giveaways. I wouldn't mind, Yvonne.
So I'm sure your people are listening, those who provide them.
Anyway, one more thing. I mean, as a business owner, I'm still dealing with my personal frustrations with the virus. I may even have family members who are having to deal with the situation. And then I'm supposed to be nice and put away my personal frustrations, be nice, smile to a customer. How do I handle that? How do I handle my personal frustrations at the same time, ensure that my customer is happy?
I think if you remember the day you had a dream to actually set this business up, just go back to the excitement you had and the kind of experience you wanted to create for your customers. Now, once you can go back to that, try and relive it. The problem now is we're all going through this, but nobody's going to cut you any slack as a business owner. We expect you to continue and even now improve the way in which you offer your service. So nobody, and I wouldn't take the excuse that, oh, we're all going through COVID. Yes, but I'll be still giving you your money, right?
Okay, so other guests lined up for that conversation is Charles Mensah, who is a financial consultant. We have William Demitia, who is a tax consultant, Samuel Boafo, human resource consultant, and Derry Dean Dazi, who is a technology consultant. Don't miss it. It's happening at 1 p.m. on radio, Joy 99.7 FM, the Entrepreneurial Rebound. And well, if you're not close to your radio and you can't listen, well, you're stuck with me on the marketplace, which happens at 1 o'clock on this network. That's it for business. Back to you.
Hello and welcome to the sports segment here with me, Oriku Wampofo. And after months of deliberation, the Executive Council in a 7-hour meeting yesterday voted unanimously to cancel the remainder of the 2019-2020 football season due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, as a result, the GFA could be losing about $2.2 million, according to Communications Director of the association, Henry Asante-Chum. Communications Director of the Ghana Football Association, Henry Asante-Chum, has disclosed that his outfit has lost a staggering amount of $2.2 million due to the cancellation of the 2019-2020 season. On Tuesday, the Executive Council of the Ghana FA cancelled the 2019-2020 campaign amid the coronavirus crisis, which has ravaged sporting activities in the country since March. MTN made a 1.1 million Ghana cedis investment in the FA Cup so far, 800,000 cedis in cash and 300,000 cedis in products. StarTimes would have invested a little in excess of 1 million Ghana cedis, of which they had made partial payments already. The projections from NASCO for their products was estimated at $1.1 million, and the Football Association spent at least 6,000 cedis on every match day. This money went into paying referees, cameramen, and venue media officers. Meanwhile, the Ghana Premier League was halted on match week 15, with the Indiana Stars leading the table with 28 points. The Executive Council also decided that per relevant provisions of the CAF Interclub football regulations, Asante Kotoko and Ashanti Gold will represent Ghana in the CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup respectively for next season. The Executive Council would also meet on Thursday, July 9th to discuss all issues relating to the next football season in Congress. The GFA will continue its engagement with all sponsors and stakeholders following the cancellation of the season. The date for the 2020-2021 football season will be announced by the Ghana Football Association in coming weeks.
Kwame Bar, he was alert, but this header from Bamier.
Well, the news that every football stakeholder was waiting for, but we'll be getting more perspective on that story at 2 p.m. on Sports Today. I'll be speaking to players and administrators as well and what they do think about the cancellation of the league. But before we do go, there was also a big meeting elsewhere in Africa as the CAF Executive Committee held a meeting via video conference to discuss the future of competitions and other related issues following the COVID-19 pandemic. The committee decided as follows. The Total Africa Cup of Nations, which is supposed to be held in 2021 in Cameroon, after consultation with the stakeholders and taking into consideration the current global situation, the tournament has been rescheduled for January 2020. The date for the final tournament and the remaining matches of the qualifiers will be communicated in due course. For the CHAN, which is also supposed to happen in Cameroon in 2020, the final tournament has been postponed to January 2021. It will still be held in Cameroon. And concerning the Total Women's Africa Cup of Nations, due to challenging conditions, the 2020 edition of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations has also been cancelled. Now, from national teams to club level, and the Total CAF Champions League and Total CAF Confederations Cup would resume in September with the final four format. Semi-final matches will now be played in a single match instead of two legs. Meanwhile, the CAF Women's Champions League would now be launched in 2021, which was supposed to be launched in 2020, would now be launched in 2021, and the format and other details would be communicated in due course. Sadio Mane would also be keeping his CAF Player of the Year award because the 2020 CAF Awards have been cancelled, and we'll be finding out more details as to when the next awards would be coming up. But that will be wrapping it up for the sports segment here. My name is Eric Wampofo.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Showbiz here on JoyNews. Now, Deputy Gender and Social Protection Minister Frida Prempeh says her outfit is working on bringing social media star and actress Akuapem Polo to book for a viral photo of her stark naked with her 7-year-old son. Speaking on JoyNews Prime with me, the minister says what the actress did is criminal and offensive and must be brought to book.
Director for Children, Social Welfare and all that. And I'm happy that the CID has also invited her for interrogation tomorrow. And I think that she's going to be held under the Criminal and Other Offences Act. And for the child, she can be brought under the Children's Act 560, like I said already, 6A. And we can also use the Electronic Transaction Act 2008 also against it. Even the Data Protection Act, because that child has a right. So the ministry is definitely going to follow up on this issue. And I think the laws of this land must be adhered to. We have to make sure that we don't set any bad precedent. I don't think this is good enough at all, especially for this growing up young boy. And from the way I saw the picture, it tells me that this might not even be the first time. Probably something she's been doing, but unfortunately this one went viral.
Yeah.
So once she's exposed that young child, the laws of this land will definitely catch up on her. And I'm hoping that the CID will go through with her on this particular issue. We've had too many of such things on social media. And I think it's about time that we make sure that the law works for the first time when someone comes